Hello guys, welcome back. We'll be continuing with 37th question today. So marginal costing, numericals are going on. 37th question. You can come to the document which I have shared with you guys. A company making and selling a product has made the following estimates. Selling price is 20 per unit. So here I have small s 20 per unit. Fixed cost is 15 lakhs. Capital F is 8 lakhs. Variable cost is 16 per unit. Small v is 16 per unit. Sales volume. So the quantity is given here. So the sales volume here is nothing but the 5 lakh units. It is in units, so it is quantity. Quantity is 5 lakh units. Suppose the selling price decrease. Suppose a selling price decrease of 10%. He says, suppose a selling price decrease of 10% results in 15% increase in sales volume. What will be its profit? It's a very simple question. He says, suppose the selling price decrease by 10%. So minus 10% of 20. So this 10% of 20 is 2 rupees. 20 minus 2 rupees is the new selling price is 18. Suppose the selling price decrease of 10% results in 15% increase in sales volume. So the quantity is going to increase by 15%. So it is 15% of 5 lakh units. I think that will be 75,000 plus 5 lakhs. So this will be 5 lakhs 75,000 units. And now he is asking what will be its profit. So we can straight away go with marginal costing equation. Sales, the quantity is 5,75,000. Each unit is going to be sold at 18. That gives you the sales minus variable cost is the same number of units multiplied with 16 each. The difference of sales minus variable cost gives you contribution, whatever you get, minus fixed cost, which is given in the question as 15 lakhs. That should be giving you profit. A very simple question. This is one of the basic questions here. So this will be your sales, variable cost, difference of this two. I think 575 into 2 rupees because this is 18 minus 6 is 2. So it is 5, 5, 10, 1150. This will be 11,50,000. So 11,50,000 minus 15 lakhs is minus 3,50,000. When I'm getting answer in minus, what does it mean? It means loss. So I can say this is loss in the brackets. So I will call this as loss. Loss is 3,50,000. Is it okay? That is about question number 37. Now you can just fill these figures. All right. Then moving on to the next question, 38. Question number 38 says, from the following figures, find the break-even volume. So selling price per ton is given. Selling price per ton, it is 69.50. Variable cost per ton. Guys, variable cost per ton, there is a misprint. It is not 33.50, it should be 35.50. So you can change it in the question itself. It is 35.50. So this is your variable cost. And fixed expenses are given as capital F is 18 lakh 2,000. 18 lakh 2,000. Now, if this volume represents 40% capacity. Now, which volume represents 40% capacity is what you have to think. If this volume represents, so what is he basically asking you to find out? Break-even point. So you have to tell him break-even point first. So should I calculate in units or in rupees? Is the question. We can calculate break-even point in units because I have fixed cost with me and small c. What is small c? Contribution per unit. Selling price minus variable cost per unit. Selling price is 69.5 and this is 35.5. Comes to 4 and 3. So this should be 34 rupees. So what is fixed cost? It is 18 lakhs 2000 rupees divided by contribution per unit is 34 rupees. The answer is coming to around 53,000 tons. This is BEP in units. Break-even point in units. Okay, this is the first part of the question. Now he says, if this volume represents 40% capacity, now which volume represents 40% capacity? This volume, because that is the only thing we have there, that is the only quantity we have got so far. So we have to take this as equal to 40% capacity. What is the additional profit for an added production? So 40% capacity is equal to 53,000 units, right? 40% capacity is 53,000 units. Added production of 40% capacity, the selling price of which is 10% lower for 20% capacity production and 15% lower than the existing price for another 20% capacity. So, little tricky. So, let us understand it carefully. If this volume represents 40% capacity, what is the additional profit for an added production of another 40%? So they want to add another 40% capacity. So 40% ke liye it is 53,000 units. Another 40% should be obviously another 53,000 units. But wait, he says the selling price of which is 10% lower for 20% capacity and 15% lower than the existing price for another 20% capacity. So I don't want directly to find out another 40%. I will first find out, so what will be for additional capacity of 20%? How much? If I calculate this, it will be 53,000 into 20 by 40 or 2 by 4 or nothing but half. I think it should be 26,500 units or tons because it is tons actually in the question. So let me use. Okay, so for 20% capacity, you'll have 26,500 tons. Okay, that's fine. He says for first 20%, the selling price is going to drop by 10%. For another 20%, the selling price is going to drop by 15%. So I'll try to do one thing. I'll try to calculate. He's actually trying to ask you what is the additional profit. So I'll take existing, that is 40% capacity, additional 20% capacity, another 20% capacity, because they are saying that the price is changing differently at 20% and 20%. And yeah, so what will be the selling price? What is the existing selling price? It is 69.50. Now, for the first 20%, the selling price is going to drop by 10%. So this will be 69.50 minus 6.95 because 10% of this should be reduced. And 15% lower than the existing price for another 20% capacity. So here minus, it should be 15%. Need to calculate this. 69.5 into 15%. That is coming to around 10.425 minus 69.5 gives me The new selling price will be 59.075. This will be 69.5 minus 6.95. New price is 62.55. Okay. Here there is no change, so it will be 69.5. So now look at this question. Now you will understand that present existing capacity. He says this is if this capacity is taken as equal to 40%. So if this is 40%, another 20% will be 26,500. So another 20% will also be 26,500. So this is my selling price. From this, I am going to deduct the variable cost per unit, which is 35.50. It is going to be same because there is no change in the variable cost per unit. It is 35.50. When you deduct this, you get contribution per unit. Already we have one contribution per unit. This minus this is 34 rupees. Okay. This is 507. This is 5 minus 27 rupees 5 paise. This is 5, 7, 5, 3, 23.575. These are the contribution per units. Sir, what are you trying to do? I'm basically trying to find out the profit. So let me multiply with units. What is the quantity here? So contribution per unit is this, and the quantity for 53,000 units is here. This is 26,500 units. This is another 26,500 units. So when you multiply this, you get the total contribution capital C. From small c, I'm going to capital C. This is nothing but small c multiplied with the quantity. So this into this, this into this, this into this gives you the values. So let us just find out. It is 34 into 53,000 should be equal to fixed cost. The answer is 18 lakhs 2,000 rupees. Then the next one is 26,500 multiplied with 27.05. This is 7 lakhs 16,825. And another one is 23.575 multiplied with 26,500 gives me 6 lakhs 24,658. I hope you have understood till here. Old selling price, when it increases by another 20%, there is 10% decrease and 15% decrease. So here it is 10% minus, here it is 15% minus. I did not mention it there. It is there in the report. So these are the total contributions. Now, when you deduct fixed cost, you get the profit. Correct? Now, what is the existing fixed cost? 18 lakh 2,000. So I will write it here. Do you have to incur any additional fixed cost for producing additional units? No, the capacity. That is what is important. Fixed cost in total remains constant irrespective of your level of capacity. Whether you are working at 40% capacity or whether you are working at 80% capacity, the total fixed cost incurred will be same. So the answer here is nil because this is the break-even point. So 7,16,825, 6,24,658. That is what we need to understand, guys. Any increase in contribution will increase the profits. Why? Because fixed cost remains constant. Therefore, what is the total profit increase? You just simply add these two figures, you'll arrive at the increased profits or the additional profits. So according to me, it is 716, 825 plus 624, 558. If you add, you will get your answers. This is question number 38. So this is 38 question. All right. So let's move on to 39 question. I have shared the document for today because 39 question starts in this document and it is continuing in the next document. So we can refer to the next document as well. I'll read it for you guys. 39th question says, from the following particulars pertaining to ABC Limited, which manufactures 3 products, find break-even point. So come to the today's document, which I have shared with you guys. There are three products given in the question. 39th question. We have product X, Y, Z. We have sales, that is rupees, and we have variable cost, that is rupees. So it's 10,000 rupees, 5 and 5. It gives us the total also 20,000. Variable costs are 6,000 rupees, 2,500 rupees, and 2,000 rupees. So this is 10,500. That is also given there. And this says fixed cost is 5,700. Okay. So if you go back to the question, he says, what is break-even point? Now, the question here is, when you are given different products, right? You are selling them at different values. The selling price will be different. You might be having different variable cost. But when he's asking a question like this, don't just panic. You have to find out the break-even point. The break-even point for the company is fixed cost by PV ratio. Do you have a fixed cost? Yes, sir. Do you have the PV ratio? No. We have to find it. So first we'll try to find out the PV ratio. PV ratio is equal to contribution by sales into 100. You know this basic formula. Contribution is nothing but this minus C, that is C. 20,000 minus 10,500, that is 9,500. I need not do product wise. I will do it for the company. So contribution is 9,500 by sales is 20,000 multiplied with 100 gives me a PV ratio. This is okay, guys. You need not do it product wise. So 9,500 upon 20,000 gives me 47.5%. Bring it here. Fixed cost is 5,700. My PV ratio is 47.5%. So this 5,700 divided by 47.5% gives me 12,000 rupees. And that's all. That is your answer. What do you mean by a break-even point? A point where there is neither profit nor loss. I want you to tell me that when the company will attain the break-even point. Company will attain a break-even point when it sells 12,000 rupees into. That's all about your question number 39. Look at the 40th question. Question number 40 says, from the following particulars, find the minimum number of units required to be sold so that no cash loss is incurred. Guys, no cash loss is a new point here. So we are basically talking about cash break-even point. So far, whenever I was saying break-even point, we were talking about the total cost, whether it is spent in cash or not. But if you remember, depreciation, if you see the word there, you have selling price, you have variable cost per unit, you have administration expenses and depreciation. What is depreciation? What do you mean by depreciation? Depreciation basically means a decrease in the value of an asset, right? Wear and tear, lapse of time, some reasons are there. But is there any cash outflow when you're talking about depreciation? Is it a cash outflow? You have studied this in many subjects. So this is the question I'm asking you guys. Can anyone say, does depreciation leads to cash flow? Yes or no? Answer is?
Yes, sir.
No. Correct? Yeah. So when you're talking about cash break-even point, see what is the normal break-even point formula? BEP is equal to fixed cost by PV ratio. But when you're talking about cash break-even point, we'll say fixed cost by PV ratio, same formula applying, but I will talk about only cash fixed cost. Non-cash items we are not going to consider. So what is the only important note I am trying to tell you here is, since we are to calculate, we are asked to calculate cash BEP, we shall not consider depreciation. Why we will not consider depreciation? Because depreciation is a non-cash item. Depreciation is being a non-cash item is ignored for this particular calculation. That's the only small point I have to tell you there. Otherwise, it is done. So, if you want to break-even point in terms of units, cash break-even point we are talking about. Cash BEP in units because it is per unit information given in the question. So it is cash fixed expenses by contribution per unit. What is cash fixed expenses? Only administration expenses is the cash fixed expenses, 10,000, and contribution per unit is selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. C, you know, it is S minus B. S is given as 20, B is given as 10. So contribution per unit is 10. Bring it here. So this is equal to 1,000 units. All right, that's a new point there. Cash break even, whenever he is asking in the exams, ignore the non-cash items. That's about question number 40. Then, moving on to question number 1. Question number 41 says, find out the cost break-even point. Oh, good. The previous problem covered the cash break-even point. This is cost break-even point. So, question number 41, we are going to calculate cost break-even point. Let me explain you what is cost break-even point. The cost break-even point. What is break-even point? It is saying no profit, no loss. No profit, no loss means what? The total cost will be equal to your total sales. Therefore, there is no profit, no loss. But when you are talking about cost break-even point, here it is something like this. I think I'll take the same example. He has given you 3 plants: plant A, plant B, plant C. Now, plant A, the cost equation is given as 6 lakh rupees plus 12 times of X. Plant B, they say is 9 lakh rupees plus 10 times of X. Plant C is all rupees, 15 lakh rupees plus 8 times of X. This is also rupees. Now here when you try to understand this, what is given in total is considered as the fixed cost, and what is given per unit wise will be considered as variable cost, because variable cost per unit, and then it is multiplied with number of units. Now what they are trying to ask you is whether I produce in plant A or plant B, I want the total cost should be same. See, cost break-even point of plant A and B. So what is it I'm trying to find out here? I'm trying to find out whether I produce it in plant A or plant B, my total cost should be same. Now tell me that quantity where the total cost will be same. Sir, how is it possible, sir? Here you are spending 9 lakhs and here you are spending 6 lakhs, and here you are spending 12 per unit, here you are spending 10 per unit. Yes, there will be a break-even. So how do you find out? Here I am going to take the difference. I can give the formula here. It is change in the fixed cost divided by change in the variable cost per unit. This is what we have to remember from this. Now let us see plant A and B. What is the change in the fixed cost? 6 and 9 lakhs difference is 3 lakh rupees divided by change in the variable cost per unit. Forget about X. 10 and 12. Difference is 2. We are going to take the difference, right? So 3 lakhs divided by 2 gives me 1 lakh 3,000. is 1,50,000 units, sir? 1,50,000 units means if you produce 1,50,000 units in plant A or plant B, the total cost will be same. Sir, how do you prove this? That is verification. Let us do some verification. The proof. Talking about the proof. So, if I am producing 1,50,000 units in plant A, the total cost is 6 lakh rupees. Okay, plus 12 times of X. 12 times of 1,50,000 units. So this is equal to 6 lakhs plus 12 times of 1,50,000. 10 times of 1,50,000 itself is 15 lakhs plus another 2 lakhs is 3 lakhs, 18 lakhs. So it is 6 lakhs plus 18 lakhs equals to how much? 24 lakhs. So if you're producing 1,50,000 units in plant A, your total cost will be equal to 24 lakhs. Now what is break-even point? It says even if you do it in B, it will be same. So let's try plant B. Plant B, the equation says it is 9 lakhs plus 10 times of X. It is 9 lakh rupees of fixed cost plus 10 times of 1,50,000 units. So it is 9 lakhs plus 10 times of 1,50,000 is 15 lakhs. 9 lakhs plus 15 lakhs equals to how much? So what do you observe? The total cost in plant A is 24 lakhs. The total cost in plant B is also is 24 lakhs. So whether you produce in plant A or plant B, the total cost will be same. So what is the quantity which makes the cost break even is 1,50,000. That is what is cost B. I did only for A, B. You can do it for, you have to try it for A and C is one thing. Again, you have to do it for B and C. So it is A, B, A, C, B, C. All combinations you have to do it. It is the same formula you are going to apply. So this is what we have in question number 41. So let us proceed with question number 42. Or before I proceed with 42, let me just explain you the break-even chart, the break-even points. Yes, I think the 42, 43 and 44 are basically talking about charts. So if I take an example, forget about the question because you can do it by yourself once you understand what I'm trying to explain here. So if I take on x-axis, let's say on x-axis I'll take the quantity, units, output, etc. And on y-axis I'm going to talk about amount. So it could be revenue or cost. It could be revenue or cost. So this is revenue or cost, and this is your output. Now, if I try to go with some imaginary figures, let's say selling price is 10 rupees and variable cost is say 6 rupees, and my fixed cost, let's say, is equal to 10,000. I'm going for 3 quantities: quantity 1, quantity 2, quantity 3. Assume that the first quantity I'm going to use is, let's say, 1,000 units. Second quantity I'm using, say, 5,000 units. Third quantity I'm using 10,000 units. Okay. Now bring it here. Let us calculate the sales. 10 into 1,000 is 10,000. 10 into 5,000 is 50,000. 10 into 10,000 is 1 lakh. variable cost. 6 into 1000 is 6000. 6 into 5 is 30,000. 6 into 10 is 60,000. So gives me contribution of 4,000. This is 50 minus 30, 20,000. This is 40,000. It goes on. Minus fixed cost. Fixed cost is 10,000. So if I'm coming here, 10,000, 10,000, and 10,000. I'm going to have profit or loss. 4 minus 10 is 6,000. This is the loss. So brackets. 20 minus 10 is 10,000 profit. 40 minus 10 is 30,000 profit. All right. Now, this if I try to put it on a graph. Okay. Let's assume my amounts will be minimum. I have 6,000, 10,000 amounts also. So let me start with a baseline of say 5,000. Say this is 10,000. This is 15,000. This is 20,000. This is 30,000. We have till 1 lakh. Say this is 40,000. Say this is 50,000. Okay. Assume that I'm taking only these 2 points, 50,000 sales and quite covered. And my quantity is 1,000 and 5,000. So I will go with 0, 1,000 units, 2,000 units, 3,000 units, 4,000 units, 5,000 units, 6,000 units. Come back. First quantity, when I'm producing 1,000 units, my fixed cost is how much? 10,000. So when I'm producing 1,000 units, fixed cost is 10,000. When I'm producing 5,000 units, my fixed cost is 10,000. So whether I produce 0 units or whether I produce 1,000 units or 2,000 units or 3,000 units or 4,000 units or 5,000 units or 6,000 units, my fixed cost will not change. It will be 10,000 only. So when I drop a line here, you can see how the line comes on x-axis, right? So this cost line is called fixed cost line. This line is what is called as fixed cost line. Okay, this is my fixed cost line. Then I will look at the total cost. What is your variable cost? 6 and fixed cost 10. Total cost is 16. So at 1,000 units, my total cost is 16,000 rupees. All right, and at 5,000 units, my total cost is 30 plus 10, 40,000 rupees. At 5,000, my total cost is 40,000. So I can say here it is. So when you look at the total cost line, the total cost line goes somewhat like this. When you try to join these lines, it looks like this. This is my total cost line. This is my total cost line. So where the total cost line starts? From this point, because even if I don't produce any units, I will still incur 10,000 rupees, which is in the form of fixed cost. Okay, did you follow that? And then, where is my sales line? At 1,000 units, my sales is 10,000. 1,000 units, my sales is 10,000. Here. At 5,000 units, my sales is 50,000. 5,000 units, my sales is 50,000. Now, what will be the sales at the 0 output? When I'm not producing any units, my sales will be 0. When I don't produce anything, my sales will be 0. So this is 1 point. This is my second point. This is my third point. I'll try to join these 3 lines. You're not getting perfect lines here. I do adjust. Now, this line is called the total sales line. TSL, TCL, FCL. FCL stands for fixed cost line, TCL stands for the total cost line, TSL stands for the total sales line. What is the break-even point? No profit, no loss. A point where your total sales line interacts with total cost line, that point is the break-even point. So when you try to drag it down, roughly, you get break-even point in units. This is break-even point in units. When you drag it to the left side, you will get a point. This is break-even point in units. This is break-even volume. This is break-even quantity. All right. Now, once you have this with you, break-even rupees and break-even units, you will try to find out some area which is going about this area. That's called as a profit zone. This area, which is shaded here, is the loss zone. So this is your profit zone. This is your loss zone. This is the angle which is called as angle of incidence. This is what is referred to as angle of incidence. The bigger the angle, the better it is. The wider the angle, the better it is, because this angle, if it is wide enough, then it shows that the profits are more. Profits will be, the chance of getting profits will be high once you cross the break-even point. All right. So this is your break-even point. Units, rupees, profit zone, loss zone, angle of incidence. So how do you make a break-even chart? This is what is called break-even chart. So break-even chart is prepared like this. You can take two quantities. In your exam, if they are giving only one input, one information, then you can take another one as 0 and do it. You can take another quantity as 0 and do it. If it is 0, 0 units into 10 is 0. 0 units into 6 will be 0, right? Contribution will be 0, but fixed cost will be 10,000, so there will be a loss of 10,000. It goes like this. I stop with this. Probably the remaining problems, I think 2 or 3 are there. I will try to make a video and try to upload it in the Moodle. You can refer to that, and if you have any doubts, you can get back. Otherwise, this is the last class for this particular chapter. I'm closing your marginal costing today. Thank you all.